Hey, Keilan, congrats. Tell us a little bit about your journey from DC to Tuscaloosa to the COVID year to
Yeah.
Austin. That's quite a
Uh,
journey, right?
yeah, thank you. Yeah, it's been quite a journey. I was born and raised in Washington, D.C., grew up there my whole life, went to schools in D.C., played football there, love the city. It's a great place. And then I ended up going down to Alabama, University of Alabama for my first 2 years. Had a great time down there, made a lot of teammates, a lot of brothers, learned a lot of things down there. Played at one of the best places in the country, you know what I mean? And then after 2 years there, I transferred to Texas, and that's where I've been for the last three. And then had a good time there, won a lot of games, won a Big 12 championship this year. And then now I'm into the NFL, the Jacksonville Jaguars, man.
Another one for me, the new kickoff rules, return rules in the NFL. Have you studied
Yeah.
much of that? And how
Yeah.
does your skills fit for that?
Yeah. I've been watching it. I know like they got some I know they got that influence from the XFL or one of those leagues or something like that. And I used to watch those games a little bit. So like I've seen the kickoffs and I like it. You know what I mean? Like it brings back the kick return in the NFL. Like the past few years it's been nothing but touchbacks since they moved the ball up, and like it's kind of been taking apart the game. So I like the rule change. You know what I mean? It's more plays. That can be a game changer. Special teams can win games. It might be a big return that set the offense up somewhere on the field, or it might be a touchdown. You know what I mean? So I like that they did something to bring back returns. You know what I mean?
Hey, Keilan, congrats. Just how much contact did you have with the Jaguars before you got here, and what did they say about you and things like that?
I talked to them a couple times, not a whole lot. I talked to them like a little bit in January, kind of like when the process was all just starting. I talked to them a little bit at the combine, and then I might have talked to a scout or two after my pro day. But other than that, I hadn't really talked to them till maybe a week ago. And around the time the draft comes, they do like the last kind of round checks, just the right number, yada yada. And I got a call from a scout, and he was just checking in with me, just seeing how I was doing and yada yada. I'm like, I ain't talked to y'all in a minute. Like, y'all like me? You know what I mean? He was like, yeah, like we like you a lot. He was like, I hope everything goes well. And I left the conversation. I was thinking, I'm like, all right, like Jacksonville will be cool. You know what I mean? You get the nice uniforms and like y'all on the rise. You got Trevor Lawrence, ETN. Y'all got a bunch of playmakers everywhere. So I don't know, Jacksonville's all right. And then I'm just watching the draft. I'm here at home just chilling with my mom and my older brother, and I'm just watching it as a spectator. Like I'm not even thinking about myself. You know what I mean? I've been watching this my whole life, so it just seemed like another year just watching the draft, and like to get the call from them was crazy. Like
Mm-hmm.
when I got it, I looked down my phone. I'm like, oh, here we go. Like it said 9:04 if I remember correctly, Jacksonville. I was like, oh shoot, y'all. And for them to tell me that, man, it's all my dreams come true. Like this is what I've been waiting on since I was a little kid. So it's all surreal right now. It don't feel real.
That's awesome. Just what should Jaguar fans expect from you in terms of what you provide as a running back and as a kick returner?
I think y'all can expect for me to be a playmaker. You know what I mean? In all facets of the game, from offense, let it be running the ball, catching the ball, lining up the slot, doing whatever I can on offense, and then on special teams, obviously making plays like with the ball in my hand and without the ball in my hand. Just a playmaker that I love the city, love the community. You know what I mean? And just I'm there to win games. You know what I mean? I'm happy to be a Jacksonville Jaguar.
Awesome. Congrats, man.
Thank you.
All right, we're gonna go to Mia and then Jamal.
Just wanted to clarify. So in 2020, the COVID year, you were still at Alabama. You just redshirted.
No, that was opt out year. Opt out that year.
I'm in the DMB then, or
Yeah, I was back home just training, you know what I mean, just working out and just staying ready, because I knew that I'd be back at one point, and I was like, if I'm not gonna be here for this amount of time, then I got to come back better, you know what I mean? And a lot of that time where I wasn't active in games, I was using a lot of that time to build my body, you know what I mean, and to prepare for whenever I did return back, and it paid the dividends, look where I am now. So
following what
I can't hear
logic?
you.
Oh, sorry. Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
What
Oh no,
logic would
it went
suggest?
out again. You said it was like a blank right there when you did that.
Sorry, guys. This is now the second time this has happened. Let's try
Yes,
that again.
the AirPods, them drinks be going in and out. Yeah.
Following logic and what logic would suggest, that you followed Sark from Alabama to Texas. Am I reading that correctly?
Yeah, in a way, I was at Alabama my entire spring, went through spring ball and all that kind of stuff, and then when I had decided to enter the portal, I had completely forgot that Coach Sark even went to Texas. College, like when you worried about your team, you just focus on your team. You're not really paying attention to other things that's going on. I had no idea that he was at Texas, so when I got into the portal, a couple coaches that had went with him over here had hit me up, and I was like, oh, yeah, I do know those guys. You know what I mean? Like, I know what they're all about. So I came out here and took a visit, and I'm like, oh, I didn't know Austin was a cool city like this. I never been to Texas before. So, you know, it all worked out, man. I'm happy I ended up here.
Hey, Keilan, congratulations, man. Have the Jags talked to you about what they envision for you at all?
Yeah, you know, they vision for me to be me, you know, to come in and make plays in a multitude of ways, just to be that versatile weapon that I'm known to be, you know, and yeah, just to be me.
And is there a guy that you kind of model your game after or see similarities to?
I know growing up, Adrian Peterson was my favorite running back, AP and Chris Johnson. So I like to play with Adrian Peterson's tenacity, you know what I mean? But current day, I watch a lot of backs, a lot of great backs, and I just like to take things from everybody's game, let it be something they do this week or next week, and just add it to my game. You know, I'm a student of the game, so I learn from everybody.
Appreciate you. Congratulations, man.
Thank you, man.
All right, thanks everybody. Keilan, you're gonna hang out for just a couple more minutes.
Bet. Mm.